Good morning, everybody. Welcome to NPTI online training, summer training. So we'll go through the fundamentals of steam turbine. As you know, this is a summer training for focusing on graduate engineer and diploma engineers mainly. So we'll go fundamental from the beginning. So it may be very useful for the students, may not be so useful for experienced people, but we have a question and answer session later on. They can interact with me regarding the turbine later on. Now all the sound for the participants has been mute to make it successful, noise-free class. You listen carefully and note down your queries. Later on, we'll discuss about your queries, and you can put your question in the chat box and we will reply on this. So basically, I have drawn earlier some diagram to make you understand the fundamental of steam turbine and its working principle. We'll show some PPT also. So before going into the PPT, let me tell you about the fundamental of steam turbine. First of all, the power generation is a energy conversion process. So we are not creating energy, we are just converting energy from one to other form. So for this, the fundamental basically we make you understand that input is raw water, game water, air and coal. That is put inside in a box. That may be calling you boiler. We are not going into the detail about the boiler. So the output of the boiler is high temperature and pressure steam. That means the energy from the coal, the heat value of the energy is transferred into the water and water becomes steam at high pressure. At high pressure it becomes steam. The steam containing the energy, we have to extract energy from the steam into a box that is called turbine. That is, the box is turbine. Mainly, we have written two parts in the turbine. One is nozzle, another is blade, moving blades. Nozzle is sometimes called fixed blade and it is a moving blade. The fundamental function of the nozzle, you know, it converts the pressure energy into kinetic energy. That means high pressure becomes low pressure and we will get the high velocity steam out of the nozzle. That is the main function of the nozzle. The function, that means the steam containing the energy has been converted into kinetic energy into the nozzle. That kinetic energy in turn impinges on the moving blade and make it rotate. So that is called blade. So we are given two symbolic items. One is nozzle, another is blade. So from this we get output over here is rotating energy or mechanical energy. So we are getting out mechanical energy out of it, and after that the generator or alternator is coupled over here. We are getting electrical energy. That is in short how the coal is converted into the electric energy in a single line. So our box is there. Today's discussion is there is turbine. Now we will discuss, before going into the actual working, we will give you some fundamental idea how the kinetic energy is converted into mechanical energy in the steam turbine. Suppose one jet velocity, maybe water or steam, impinging on a plate. You are keeping your impinging on the plate with the velocity v. So the plate is not moving in the first case. So the force experienced by the plate is nothing but the change in momentum in x direction. Momentum of this velocity and the mass by the jet. So the change in momentum is initial velocity is velocity v in x direction, and the final velocity in the x direction is 0. Jet is impinged and splashed out. So there is no velocity in the direction of the jet. So the change in momentum is mv minus av. That is the force exerted on the plate is this much. So now it is not moving. The velocity of the plate is 0. So that is work output formula is work is equal to force into displacement. That is the basic fundamental of higher secondary level. There is U is 0, so force is 0. Work output is 0. That means we are not getting only work from this jet. That kinetic energy is lost over here. We are not getting any output. It is no useful. But for fundamental idea, that force is called impulse force. The force due to change in velocity is called impulse force. That principle we are not getting output. So this first case is not required for us. Now second case, same velocity impinging, but in this case the plate is moving with a u velocity. Obviously u velocity is less than velocity v because the energy is causing the movement of this plate. So it is velocity u. In this case the force is somewhat reduced and it is change in momentum mv minus u. mv minus u is the force on this plate. So now there is some work output because there is a displacement u is there. Some value of u is there. So that is the work output over here. So now our case is to increase the work output. That is our main motive. The kinetic energy should be converted into mechanical energy maximum. So that means we have to maximize this force and work. If we increase the force, that means the work output will increase. We have to increase the force. How can we increase the force? By changing the plate configuration. Suppose you bend the plate like this, 180 degree. Now the jet is coming over with the velocity and going out with the velocity, neglecting the friction. There is no friction. There is no friction. The velocity is coming in and coming out. So in that case, the force on the plate is getting increased twice. That means earlier it is mv minus u. If u is becoming double actually. The force on the plate is becoming double. And the optimum work is W into mv into u. By differentiation and calculation, you can find out the optimum velocity of the plate can be half of this steam velocity. That can be calculated. We are not going into the calculation. That means we fundamentally came to know that if the steam velocity is v, the blade velocity is half of the steam velocity. It causes the maximum output. It causes the maximum of output if the steam velocity is double of the blade velocity. That means double of the blade velocity. This is the blade velocity and that is the steam velocity. The idea is how we are increasing force and work output by changing the configuration of the blade. So that is the idea we are getting how the blade can be designed. How the blade can be designed, it is from the third plate. We are just bending the plate to get the more impulse. Change in momentum. We are increasing the change in momentum, that is v minus v, that is twice by changing the configuration only. So that means we have to design in blade in such a way that it will give more output, more force on it, so that more output can be done. So that is the basic fundamental of steam turbine from impulse. Now let me discuss how the turbine actually oriented. Suppose this is a rotor. Around the periphery, blades are mounted like this. So these are the blades. Throughout the periphery, blades are mounted. So steam is coming in from one side and going out from the other side. That means there is a change in velocity. So the force is here. That means steam is going in, coming out between two blades, passage in between two blades, and the force, impulse force in this direction due to change in momentum. I said it. The force is here. That is the F1 is F impulse. Now there are another blading system is called impulse blading, and another blade is reaction blades. Reaction blades is like this. Suppose there is a balloon blown up and you release the balloon in the air. What will happen? The air will come out from the balloon and the balloon will move in other direction. So opposite the jet velocity of the air, the balloon will move in other direction. That is the reaction force by the jet in opposite direction, causing the movement of the balloon in opposite direction. That is the reactive force where experienced by the balloon. So similarly, if we can, steam input is there. If we can, steam output velocity can be increased much more than the input velocity, then we will get some reactive force, and that can be done by pressure drop across the blade. That means we will design the blade in such a way. Suppose this is the blade cross section. This is one blade and another blade side by side placed around the periphery. We are considering two blades. You see, the passage here is this one. Entry is there. That is the throat area, and that is the output area. That means it is the passage between two blades are as converging diverging nozzle. That is converging diverging nozzle. That means this blade is reactive type. It will act as a nozzle. That means P1 is the inlet pressure, P2 is the output pressure. P2 is much less than P1. That means we are getting more velocity out of this. That means if it is velocity is V1 and that is V2, so V1 is less than V2 is much more, because the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy in the nozzle and giving more velocity. More velocity means there is one component that is called F reaction. That reactive force we are getting. That means due to change in momentum, there is the impulse force. Due to change in momentum, impulse force, and due to increase in velocity, there is a reactive force. There are two component force. That means force is being increased by the design of blade in such a way that reactive blades, that is reactive blade profile. Two reactive blades, it is giving a nozzle shape area, and we are getting two kind of forces. So that is the impulse blade, reactive blades design. The blade cannot be 100% reactive because there is a change in velocity. So it is the impulse reaction blades. So steam turbine blades are mostly impulse reactive blades. It is not 100% reactive blades or not 100% impulse blade. It is a combination of both. So this is the fundamental of the blades used in the utility turbine, that is power generating turbine, and this is in short the reactive and impulse turbine. So now in power plant, turbines mainly used in three sections, that is HP turbine, IP turbine and LP turbine. Earlier there is a single turbine called IPLP or HPLP in a single block, but for larger turbine, suppose 60 megawatt, 200 megawatt, 210 megawatt, 250 megawatt, 500 megawatt, 800 megawatt, 1000 megawatts. So all we have three cylinder type. One is HP cylinder, IP cylinder, and HP cylinder, IP cylinder. Not getting sound. Sound is not working. So there is 3-cylinder turbines. HP cylinder, IP cylinder, and LP cylinder. All the turbines coupled in a single line, that is called tandem arrangement, tandem compounded. All the turbine in a single line coupled together in a single shaft, it is called running out of 10 minutes. HP turbines is designed double casing type to avoid higher cell thickness and expansion problem. To remove expansion problem, HP turbine designed for double casing, barrel type design is there. That is a IP turbine double flow type. For balancing purpose, we are giving double flow. When steam entered from the center and it is expanded from both the sides, so it is double flow type. Similarly, LP turbine is also double flow type. And all the turbines are multi-stage. Stage means that are the stages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One set of nozzle and one set of moving blade. This is one set of nozzle, one set of moving blade. Hello. One stage. Single stage. These are the multi-stage turbine, tandem compounded. Maybe these are the pressure compounded, reaction blading, and 3-cylinder arrangement. This type of and condensing type. Ultimately, steam is coming out and it will go to the condenser. That means this steam is condensing type. It is not back pressure type. If the condenser pressure is below atmospheric pressure, so we call it a condenser condensing type steam turbine. So this is in short about the working principle of the steam turbine, how it is working. Suppose this steam is going in, coming out. So there is a force in this direction. Force into center distance diameter. So the torque generated is F into D. That is the torque which is causing the rotation of the steam turbine. So that is the working principle of the steam turbine. Now we will show you some PPT in this diagram so that we can visualize. The plant visit can be done through the visuals of power plant PPT. Now please go through the PPT. Now you can raise your questions, fundamental for 10 minutes. You can raise your questions in the chat box. If there is any question, please put it into the chat box. Please put your question in the chat box. Sound is not working. Why? Tandem compound, that is tandem compound means the arrangement of HP, IP, LP in a single line, in a single shaft, it is called tandem compounded. Right? All are coupled together. It is transported separately and it is installed and it is put in a single line. It is tandem. And HP means high pressure turbine, IP means intermediate pressure turbine, and LP means low pressure turbine. High pressure turbine is smaller because the steam volume is less at high pressure, and low pressure turbine is bigger because the steam volume is more over there. IP means intermediate pressure. HP, then high pressure turbine is pressure is dropped, energy is extracted. So there is an intermediate pressure. Again pressure is dropped, energy is extracted. Then low pressure turbine. Nozzle. Nozzle is to extract pressure energy into kinetic energy. If steam flows through a converging diverging passage, the steam pressure gets down and the velocity of the steam increases. By this way, we can get the heat energy into the kinetic energy in the nozzle or fixed blade. Impulse force is due to the change in momentum. Change in the velocity is called impulse, or change in the velocity direction. It is the force experienced by the change in velocity is called impulse. Whereas reaction is due to the high velocity steam coming out from some places, it will give some opposite direction force, that is called reactive force. That is called reactive force. The difference between reaction and impulse is like that. Some high velocity steam coming out. The role of instrumentation engineer is that there is a lot of monitoring device, turbine vibration monitoring, temperature monitoring, bearing temperature monitoring, pressure monitoring devices are there, and online devices are there. That is continuously to be monitored the health of the turbine of different parameters. To look into this, the instrumentation engineer is required. Double casing turbine is designed. If casing thickness is higher, it will take lot of time for heating or starting. To minimize starting of turbine time, turbine heating time, we design the high pressure turbine double casing type. If we increase double casing, the casing thickness becomes lower. The detailed discussion cannot be done within 1 hour. So to avoid expansion issues and to reduce heating time of turbine, we design the double casing type. We'll supply you the question PPT or this lecture separately after the class hour. Compounding. Compounding means other language is staging. We cannot expand steam in a single nozzle. The velocity will become very high. We break out in single stages, different stages. We pressure drop stage by stage, we drop pressure in a multi-stage turbine. That is called compounding of a turbine. Maybe pressure drops in different stages, it is called pressure compounding. So that is compounding of turbine to better utilization of steam and restriction of the steam velocity. So we step by step, we expand the steam. The high pressure steam is not, it is high pressure steam never allowed in the condenser or in the boiler. We made it high pressure because heat energy is converted into the steam by high pressure. That energy is converted into mechanical energy. That is the objective of turbine, to convert the high pressure energy into mechanical energy. The properties of the flow through a converging diverging, the compressible flow through a converging diverging, that is a part of fluid dynamics. That converging diverging nozzle, if we pass through a converging diverging nozzle, that is the converging diverging passage is like this. If we allow high pressure steam over here, the pressure will get down over here and kinetic energy of the steam will increase.
Hello.
Steam will increase. That is the idea, that is the fundamentals of steam nozzles, to increase the kinetic energy of a high pressure fluid. IP
Sir, my question is why large in low pressure turbine? Why diagram is large in low pressure turbine? Why low pressure turbine diagram is large compared to others?
Yeah, high pressure means the steam, same amount of steam volume is like this. If the pressure reduces, the volume becomes this much. same amount. So 1 gram steam over here like this, 1 gram steam volume is like this. So it accommodated, the higher size is required. As the pressure reduces, the volume increases. Do you understand? Suppose there is a 1 gram air is there, you compress it, it will look like this. If you release the pressure, it will occupy more larger size. So that's why IP turbine is larger. Question. Function as a guide when, suppose this is the steam coming, is a moving blade like this. So we have to again guide the steam like this.